Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I am a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And my guest today, Zach, is having technical difficulties. Gotta love live radio. I'm gonna unmute Ed, and hopefully we can get this show. But I would ask Zach how he's doing today, but it looks like he's frozen. So we've got 866-826-1340. 866-826.
Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Moments of Clarity's mission is to educate and end the stigma on mental health through the inspirational stories of our exceptional guests. You can join in the show by calling Tiffany toll-free at 866-826-1340 or on Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany. Now, here's Tiffany Warner.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today I have a wonderful guest that we're having technical difficulties. So I'm going to just say hi to Ed before I even try to introduce my guest. But it's a Broadway musician, does so many musicals, and pretty famous. He's been on before. But hi, Ed.
Yeah, happy Thursday. And speaking of technical issues, I've got a camera issue right now. So,
so that's my guest. I can't
have a chance. It's like I'd go to turn my camera on like a couple of seconds before, and then it says being used in another application. Then I have to go find out which one is still using it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just me, myself, and I today, I guess. And I guess today has logged in and out and is trying to find a place to come in, and I'm sure he's going to be back, but he was
Can we
frozen.
get him on the phone instead, or?
I should try that actually, I guess, but then I'm just on camera. Hold on a second. But yeah. So anyway, how are you doing, Ed, while I'm doing this? Let me find out.
Just doing fine, moving right along here. Transitioning, of course, getting ready for the summer heat that's already started, and all the different things that start after the summer, whatever. But he's going good.
Oh yeah. And it was raining, so I was afraid that our connection
Well, rain shouldn't be a big issue unless it's got a hurricane behind it.
yeah,
So
well,
rain is not a big thing.
but we don't have that, right?
I mean, your connection is just fine. It just where's he calling in from?
New York, but
Okay.
at first he was outside and I couldn't hear him, and then he was on his cell phone, and then he found the right spot, but then couldn't hear me, and then it's like the show's got to go live. We're on, so
Right.
here I am.
I think New York had some storm issues today or something going
When I
on
saw
there.
him outside, it was beautiful. Like he was walking around in a park or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Or something.
Shoots that theory down.
It's not like that. So I did text him and told him to call in, but let's see, and then anyone else listening that wants to call in and talk about how to handle things in a crisis and handle them well with a smile. What could be the next motto or topic of the show, right?
Right.
Multitasking when things go wrong. It's not what happens to us that define our character, it's how we handle them. So we have to handle them with grace and ease and just let it roll. Things don't always work out the way the way we want them to. And sometimes life hands us lemons, we make lemonade, right? And hold on, he's here. Let's see if we can hear him or see him.
Dun, dun, dun,
Zach,
okay.
are you with us? Can you hear me? This is gonna be fun.
Would it be best if he just uses audio instead of video and audio? Maybe that would help.
I can.
Zach, can you hear me?
Let's see.
Call in on the text. I texted you the number. You can call in. You can call in. Look at your text messages and call that number. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he heard you until you put the headphones on.
Call it. Look at the text and call in that number.
That's way too much.
Zach,
So,
call the
Do a
number
test
I
here, see
texted
if I can
you.
hear you. You want to call
Yeah,
you?
can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Look at the text messages and call that number.
I think that's what he's doing now. Well, let's see. That's him.
There it is. I'm gonna be like full screen talking to. Luckily, I was able to put my lipstick on this morning.
Okay, we got him on the phone.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi. So I guess virtual didn't work out today.
But it's okay. It's all right. Thanks for your patience.
It's okay. So I wish I could just put, just so you guys can tell who we're talking to. This is a Broadway musician, Zak Sandler, and he's a mental health advocate with a musical twist, inspiring audiences, big and small, with his theatrical work. And in his performances, he draws on his personal experience with bipolar to open a conversation on mental health with lightness and sensibility. And for 7 years, he's played piano for Broadway productions of Wicked, Mean Girls, MOTOWN, and The Color Purple. And he's conducted and directed shows off-Broadway and regionally, including at Dallas Theater Center. And hello to our Texas listeners. And he's a featured speaker on This Is My Brave and the JED Foundation and Moments of Clarity previously, which was pretty funny because he's like, "Do I just call in today?" And I'm like, "Oh, we've kind of evolved since the last time we put on the show." He's conducted several things, and he won the Young Leader Award from NAMI, which is the National Association of Mental Illness, and New York State. And his original musical about bipolar titled Inside My Head was touring in 2020. And welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, Zak Sandler.
Hey, Tiffany. Thank you everyone for being here and for your understanding of the delay.
It's not your fault. It's technology, and it's the way you just got to roll with it, right? Roll with life, roll with everything, you know? I'm good with everything as long as we can tell your story. And luckily, you sent me a lot of pictures, so I can show your story while we are talking. So let's talk about back in the day. You were diagnosed with bipolar, and then became a mental health advocate. I gotta say, I think we've known each other like way back when I first started Moments of Clarity in 2015, and you were like one of the guests where you just called into the radio. And then I think when we did Facebook Live, this might be your third time on the show. You reached out
Yeah, I think it is.
and said, "Hey, what's up?" Like, it's been a while. You're like, nice enough. You're like, "I'd be happy to come back on your show." Audio,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
virtual. I guess we should have specified that, but it's kind of my fault. We should have prepared a little more since it's been a while. So anyway, back to the beginning. Not everyone knows you like I do, so let's go to the beginning of how all of this started with you with musical and also becoming a mental health advocate. I mean, when you found your moment of clarity, where you get a bell whenever you say that, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. One moment, plugging in.
I wish we had Ed, if we could
All right.
do the Jeopardy theme song. Like, oh, really? And once
I'm
again,
here. Can you hear me now?
yeah, while we're waiting for you to make sure that I want to say hi to love, lots of love from India with Jason. Thank you so much for being here all the way from India. Brian, hello from YouTube. We are on YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Twitter. Just look up Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and then just YouTube or mocwithtiffany.com, and you can see all the links that all of the shows go to. And anyway, Zak, okay.
Sure. I started with music very young. I was 5 when I started piano. Opera when I was 9. And then musicals in high school. And it was around college that I started writing musicals. And then junior year of college at Yale, I had no sign of any sort of mental condition or difference. And at that point, I had to choose between two of my biggest goals, two of my biggest dreams for that year. One was to music direct my a cappella group, the Yale Stidswings, which is known as one of the premier groups there. It would have been a great title and honor. The other was to rock the musical theater scene.
And I think you have.
So yeah. Thank you.
But you've been doing this all like with bipolar. When were you diagnosed with bipolar at that time?
That was right here. So I chose the a cappella and became very sad and started to become hopeless and heavy and feeling very alone. And that lasted for about a week. And then I remember walking home from a football game and starting to feel this pep in my step, like a rising feeling in my chest and some hope. I went to an a cappella party with the girls group and felt like the center of attention, and like all the girls were into me. And I thought
Ooh,
come home with
from
me.
your
I went home anyway and started writing.
musical acapella.
Yeah, my group is all guys, but we were singing with an all-girls group from Princeton.
Mm-hmm. And you went to
We
Yale,
had a party there. Yes.
and you can't figure out how to use Restream. What's up with that? I'm just kidding. We can't get you on virtually, Yale graduate. Just kidding.
Oh, I didn't major in comp sci.
I'm totally kidding. It's just a shame because you're a good-looking guy, and now I'm having to use. But luckily, you sent me enough of pictures that I can use to show people who we're talking to. But anyway,
Cool.
so yeah, so you had the opportunity, like just from your musical. You can always sing for us if you want. You know, we love that. We always love that.
Oh, thank you.
But and then
Yeah,
we have a commercial break coming up too. Where if you can get the visual to work during the commercial break, we can do that too, or we can still call in and we can have it like this. But we can try to figure it out. And I'm gonna cue in a couple friends so that I'm not the only one virtually here too that will be with us to ask questions and just kind of co-host or be here. I hate to be the only one on the screen. It's really weird when I have a guest I'm talking to and I can't see them, even though it was radio before. But it's come a long way. And the bio that I could find that because it hasn't really been updated was the Inside My Head, and you were going to go. That's how long it's been since you've been on the show. That you were going to go on tour in the 2020, and then COVID must have hit hard. And so, Inside My Head, I want to hear all about that as well. Why don't we take a commercial break now and get a few things settled out, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Stay tuned. This is fun and interesting. See how it works out. We'll be back.
Okay.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. Today, my guest is Zak Sandler, a Broadway musician, and has written so many wonderful things, from Mean Girls to The Color Purple, and then also one featured Inside My Head. And I want to learn all about that. I welcomed Jason Thomas, brand identity designer, just in case we lose connection. So Zach, meet Jason, and Jason's an entrepreneur specialist, a brand identity designer, but so much. Anyway, so Zach, so let's hear a little bit more about inside my head and what happened. And like, you wrote a musical about bipolar disorder. This is fun. Anyway, so Zach might be wanting to call back in. Call back in, Zach. Anyway, Jason, how you doing? We get Zach back on.
I'm doing fantastic. I have no idea how you manage these technical difficulties with so much ease. How are you so cool? You know, it worries
Uh,
me a lot. Hi, Zach.
hey, Zach,
Nice
call
to
in
hear.
like you did before because we can't hear you. So call us back. This is almost theatrical. Hey, we're doing Broadway. We're doing Broadway. Gonna call it into the Moments of Clarity show. He could probably actually come up with something like that, but I don't know if he
I
can.
have actually Tiffany that when you use your phone and if you use restream, it does hang up a bit. It's better to use a desktop. That could be one of the reasons why he's experiencing this.
He texted me and said, "My phone's at 35%, so if video works, I may have to switch back to audio." Going on a
Ah,
live radio show from 12 to 1 with a phone at 30%. I love live radio. I might lose you halfway through the show, but this is funny. This happened to me one time before where the guest just didn't show up, and it was something about how to write a book, like, something that's not my topic. So I was like, and let me introduce my guest, and then I introduced her name, and Ed's like, we don't have anyone here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, anyone want to call in? And they're like, sure. So
hey, Tiffany, I have a question. Can you tell me what is bipolar? I
we're
don't
gonna
know
get
what
into
is that.
that in just a second. We got Zach on the line. Hi, Zach.
Finally,
Yeah.
Zach.
Hi, back.
Hey, so at least we have you audio. Why don't we just stick with this?
Yeah.
So Zach, that Jason right now, before we were just kind of teasing about how like technical difficulties and just improv, and the show must go on, right? You've done lots of shows,
Yeah,
and
that's exactly it.
they're never like always perfect. But you wrote inside my head about bipolar disorder, and Jason was just asking, what is bipolar disorder, and what is it like to live with that first from you?
Sure. I personally avoid the terms like disorder or illness because I think they carry a negative stigma that
I totally agree. Even in the title, I said bipolar, period, but it's still a label
yeah,
or whatever. So you got diagnosed with that, and
right. So I was diagnosed when I was 20 and went 9 years without telling anyone pretty much. And then I had a second manic episode, and that's when I started writing. So the show there's two versions. One is a solo show where I've created characters out of my depression, my mania, and my paranoia. And I've recorded those characters as voices that sing and talk to me in the moment.
the voices that you felt during your manic episode that you were writing through.
Yeah, the manic, the depressive, and the paranoid, which comes with the manic for me.
Yeah, but I kind of remember when you were coming out with that when we interviewed before, probably in '99. That we were talking about that Disney movie that I can't think of the name of that movie,
Inside
but
Out.
what?
Was it Inside Out?
Maybe where they have the characters. One's blue for the depression, and then the abstract mind, and then one was yellow for joy, and one was green for envy,
Yeah,
or anger was red. That kind of one, like, which I love that
yeah,
because it
that's
really
right.
showed um, how we have different emotions and how they can really interact with each other, help each other out, and other things as well.
Yeah, I'm creating a workshop that does that called Inner Characters, where we personify all of our emotions. So, and then like have conversations with them when we feel them. So, for example, this morning, my fiance offered to drive me to the doctor when I was late, and I didn't want to say yes because I felt guilty. And to manage, I don't want to say manage because I see my emotions as children, but in order to connect with that emotion of guilt, I visualized the character I had created, which was this cartoon character hanging itself, not to be too graphic. And the other way I do it is like being introduced at a sports event, like, and now, kill. There's applause. Kill.
That you hear that inside your head, like when you're watching sports, do you feel like they're talking to you as well?
In the musical?
Oh no, this is what you're writing about. But like in real life, like when there's a sports game or anything, does the television speak to you? Like they're like, they just scored, and you're like, yay, Zach. Like, and yeah, that kind of.
Oh, I see. No, this is an inner dialogue.
So how did that take off? And we have Girish Bali here too with us. He's a podcast host from Back to Basics. We keep this going. Thank you guys for being here on the queue on the Ask and Repeat. All during the promo.
Looks like a school teacher.
And I appreciate you being here. Girish Bali, host of Back to Basics.
Anything for Tiffany, anything for Jason, anything for Moments of Clarity. Bell, please. Thank you.
So Zach, this writing that you're doing was all from within your head during a manic episode.
So, are you asking if I did the writing when I was manic?
Yes.
No, I don't write music well at all when I'm manic. What I do write is philosophy, religion. I talk a lot about how the universe is structured and reality. Like, for example, seeing the world as a video game and seeing my life as one reality that intersects with other people's realities. So, for example, in the show and when I'm manic, I believe that I am Messiah, and I actually do believe that because in my reality, I am the Messiah, and in your in your reality, you are the Messiah, and so on.
A lot of pressure to put on yourself to be Jesus, big Messiah.
Good.
It's a lot of pressure. It is to consider yourself as Jesus or to think you are. So back to what Jason and if I use the wrong terminology for you, Zach, just bear with me. Just clinical. So there's different types of bipolar diagnoses. Bipolar 1, and I won't say disorder, but bipolar 1 is when there's more manic episodes than depression. So the manic episodes, when some people come into a manic episode, they can't sleep for days. They're out of their sense of reality. They're pumped. They get a lot of times creative, and they don't want to come out of that manic phase because they love that energy and everything. However, the manic phase doesn't last forever, and then the crash turns to depression, and it's very severe. So it could be suicidal and all of that. The crash from the manic is why we have to stabilize it, because the manic, once it's done, is very, very red flag, suicidal ideations, things like that. Bipolar 2 diagnosis would be more depressed with a few manic every now and then, but more depression. And still, we have to stabilize that. No one wants to be depressed most of the time. And when they have the manic, I've heard from, they tend to enjoy it. It's a burst of energy, but then they crash and get to the depression. And there's cyclothymic, which is kind of just a cycling, like a roller coaster, like, you know. So a lot of people say, oh, bipolar, I'm having a bipolar moment or bipolar swing or whatever. It's not like that. Just because you're having a moody day and you're like frustrated for a second and then depressed or whatever, that's not bipolar. That's not, it's much more severe than that. And then there's also bipolar not otherwise specified, where we can't define exactly which one it is because it's too like un it's not, there's no pattern. So there's a, like, basically, in a nutshell, the diagnosis of what bipolar is. There's also bipolar with psychosis, where they have psychotic features, thinking either that they're Jesus or grandiose or friends with the Vatican, and then they want to call the Pope while they're institutionalized, or feeling that they're seeing bugs on a plane, or thinking paranoid, that FBI is after them, or there's several. Everyone has their own thing. So just to educate on what bipolar is, it's not it's not easy to live with. I can tell you that. It's very challenging for people. I admire everyone that actually has these challenges, any mental health challenge that we go through, and we get out of, and we do the best to live life to our fullest potential. But people that live with different diagnoses, depression, bipolar, or ADHD, schizophrenia, whatever, have especially extra challenges on top of daily and day-to-day stuff too. And it takes a lot of courage, and a lot of people stigmatize and put down, oh no, that person is this or this or this, and that's a label that shouldn't be. Labels are for food, not people, right? And it gives the credit to where it is. If to wake up every day with an extra challenge, not just an alarm, that, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to get out of bed today, or I don't know if I can go to sleep today, or so many things that people live with, or fear of the unknowns, fear of what ifs, fear of abandonment, fear of commitment. There's all sorts of mental challenges that a lot of us, we all have something. And it takes a lot of courage to fight each day to be able to just see the sunrises every day. Every day is a new day. Girish, did you have a question?
I did. I had a statement I wanted to ask you. So the TV show called Homeland on Showtime, the agent Carrie, she also had the only solution for bipolar for her is to be medicated and be stable. Is that still the case for today's, or is there a non-prescribed way to fix bipolar? I mean, that's for everybody.
We don't want to say fix, but
Well, well,
most
yeah.
people that diagnosed with bipolar do need medication management as well as talk therapy to be able to be stable, because you want to be stable so that you don't go into one of the two phases of, like, either depression, and you want to monitor it to make sure that if you're in a manic episode and it crashes, that you're not going to be impulsive, take your own life, feel that depression, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of mood stabilizers that help people.
So now the next question is that the Homeland character who's playing a
Never
bipolar
seen it.
person,
Yeah.
but how true is that? I mean, has anyone seen it?
No.
Everyone, whoever's online right now, why don't you tell us? I mean, do you think that's true to bipolar? Go ahead, Zach.
Call in 866-826-1340. Hey, Zach, can you sing that? 866-826-1340. Acapella. Zach, sing the phone number.
Yeah, what did you say?
Sing the phone number for us, acapella. 866-826-1340.
Phone number for you?
Yeah. Hope people remember it.
Sure. 866-826-1340. Yeah.
Hey. I should have that as a little thing. Love it. Can you do it again?
Sure.
It's gonna sink in. Let's do it one more time, Zach.
Okay, but it's gonna be different this time.
I know. That's whatever's gonna sink in.
826-1340.
The 866 first. You do have a nice voice. No wonder all the chicks were after you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what we were talking about, Zach, can you agree or disagree with anything that was just said?
I saw Homeland, and I think it's one of the best displays of bipolar that I've seen in terms of how it affects her and also how it doesn't affect her in a way. Speak back to the question about meds. Certainly, I have benefited a lot from medication. I've been on various ones for the last 16 years, and I've actually been on 14 different meds at different doses. I think partly because my body changes, my brain needs changes, and also because finding meds can be trial and error. And I think it's super important to have a really great relationship with a psychiatrist, someone who I trust, someone who can make a plan with me instead of just saying, this is what we're doing. And yeah, respect me, sees me as a person.
Keeping it serious, taking it serious, and not being afraid of the stigma, but balancing. When I asked you to write me a new intake and I said, what topic would you like to talk about? You said inner characters, and in parentheses, the characterization of our emotions with the focus on our inner head coaches and our inner jerks. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. So the two biggest characters inside me that I believe are inside all humans are our inner head coach, which you could also call intuition, instinct, gut feeling, and our inner jerk, which is anything trying to interfere or pull us away from the path to happiness that the head coach guarantees us should be following him. And I say him because I'm a guy and it feels right to me, but obviously any pronoun is fine. And I've gotten really good at listening to that head coach and pushing aside the jerk. So he is really tricky, so it can be difficult. I can give a few examples. I was just in the elevator on the way out of my appointment, and these two people were on their phones. Phones were way down by their hips. They were looking straight down. And my physical therapist had told me that 75% of posture can be fixed just by holding your phone right in front of your face. So it feels scary to talk to some person I've never seen before. I don't like to say stranger. I like to say a friend I haven't met yet. But to say anything to someone like that in the elevator feels scary. But I could feel my inner coach. His name's Blake. So I could feel Blake saying, say something. And I could feel Charlie's my inner jerk, saying, no, it's too scary, just don't say anything. But I listened to Blake, and they both laughed and both said, yeah, that's right. We really should hold it higher. And it started this fun little interaction. On the other hand, there can be, so Charlie can come in the form of distraction. One I find happens a lot is, let's say something really positive happens to me. So I have a phone call with a friend, makes me feel really good. And I've been trying to take some time to pause and feel that love, that positivity before moving on to the next task. So let's say I have that conversation. Maybe I put my arms up. I feel that love, that positive warmth coming into my body from that person. And meanwhile, Charlie is trying to say, no, you gotta move ahead and do this next thing. So I have to push him away, sometimes physically with my hands. I push him to the side and then use my hand to center myself with Blake again. And often he will come back 2 or 3 or 4 seconds later, and I'll do the same thing again and again and again. And I think the more I do it, hopefully, the better I get at it. one of the trickiest things he's done recently is that I was at a music school where I teach, and a friend of mine came in to interview, and I said, "Oh, I'll just wait around until he's done so I can chat with him." But I had a barbershop rehearsal. I do barbershop acapella singing, and I had this rehearsal that I needed to leave to get to. So I waited a little, and then I decided, okay, I should probably leave. And I tried to get up from the bench I was sitting on, and my body said, "No, you're staying here." And I've had these impulses a lot. Like, if I face a certain direction, I feel this resistance. Like, don't go this way. Or I feel this pull. Like, do go this way. Even now with a slight tangent, but I'm really trying not to overeat. So I'll just imagine myself taking a bite or moving my fork towards the food, and I can feel that in my body. It's that tightening and feeling of unease and no. I can feel that, which tells me not to eat anymore. Or it's this warm rising feeling, which is the yes. Yes, move the fork, have another bite.
There's a lot to go through just to eat, and it seems like there's a lot more going on than just bipolar for you. But
Yeah,
more challenges than that. I want to get more into this. This is really deep, but it's time for our second break. And this goes by fast, especially with technical difficulties, Zach, but you're doing great. And we'll be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is your host, Tiffany Warner from Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I want to thank you for all your support on ending the stigma on mental health for over the past 7 years and with over 600 episodes, as well as several award nominations and placing as a finalist in 3 categories on the People's Choice Podcast Award last year. If you're listening to this on audio, please visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and enjoy viewing previous shows in case you missed any live. If you're interested in advertising and would like to promote your company, it is affordable and an effective way to get your company the attention it deserves. I also welcome potential guests as well, and all information can be found on my website at mocwithtiffany.com. Thank you again for your continued support, as change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we have a wonderful guest, Zak Sandler. He's a mental health advocate, discussing about his mental health challenges, what he's lived with, and also on top of that, creating a Broadway musical called Inside My Head. But he's also played piano for over 7 years, Broadway productions, including movies such as Mean Girls, The Color Purple, Wicked, but Broadway style. And he's been featured as a speaker on This Is My Brave, the JED Foundation, and has a Young Leader Award from NAMI, National Association for Mental Illness, as well as been on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany before. We have to highlight that at the top of all that other stuff. Welcome back, Zak Sandler. And Jason Thomas has joined me because we were having difficulties in the beginning. And Jason Thomas is a brand identity designer. So if you've ever seen some of the graphics and the amazing things that show up virtually for me, that's Jason's done. And he hosts a show on Clubhouse every Wednesday at noon called The Dark Side of Entrepreneurship. So check that out as well. And welcome back, both of you guys. But our host, guest, Zak Sandler. Thank you, Zak. So this is the final stretch where we promote you because we've got about 8 minutes left because it went quite fast with all the difficulties. So we're going to have to try this again where we get the virtual right and have it all about you. However, what would you like to promote and take away with this that you are working?
I think that the takeaway is to be patient. If you have a condition, to be patient and loving of yourself. I had a lot of shame and guilt for a long time. And once I was able to open up, it helped a lot. And even if you're not a Broadway writer, it could even be journaling to yourself but never showing anyone. I think writing is really powerful. In terms of what I'm doing, I am doing this tour of Inside My Head. Colleges, high schools, mental health organizations, companies. So if you have any sort of organization or anyone who wants to host it, please get in touch with me. That would be great. Zak Sandler, ZakSandler @gmail. Also check out my website, zaksandler.com. And coming soon, InsideMyHeadMusical.com, which will have videos from the show, information on how to book, donation page, and ways to stay in touch. So that's InsideMyHeadMusical.com. Should be up very soon. You can also subscribe to my Instagram, which is @Bipolar_Broadway. @Bipolar_Broadway.
So the people driving in their cars right now listening are not going to remember that. But if you look at the YouTube, I have that all prepared. It's going across the bottom of the screen. InsideMyHeadMusical.com, blog soon, ZakSandlersblog.com. You follow him on Instagram @Bipolar_Broadway. And his website's coming soon, InsideMyHeadMusical.com. But it's all written out for you. I was prepared for you to be like visually here. We're gonna have to have part of this where you're on a laptop and not on a phone, and we can figure this out. But at least you're a good sport and called in, and we have other avenues to not. And thank you, Jason, for coming on, and so I'm not just looking at myself. And
yeah, I appreciate that, Jason.
Yeah, I mean it's and Garish as well. It's great to have good friends that are just there like on a whim, like oh no, technical difficulties, and they're like send us the link. But you know the things that you've gone through, Zak, and you've still done Broadway musicals. And I was trying to explain to Jason because he's from India, And he's by the way, the podcast that I said I think you should be on, when I said I have somebody else that you should be on, and you said send him my way. Remember, this is Jason. Um, but he does the
There's
dark
no time to think.
entrepreneurship, but he didn't know what Broadway was, and I had to, because in India they don't really have that, and so I had to kind of explain to him. Do you want to explain what Broadway is to some people, because we're global? Zach?
Oh, yeah, Broadway is
Versus a movie, like what is
different
Broadway?
Mecca of musical theater. So in New York City, between 41st and say 54th Street, these huge budget productions, usually about $10 to $15 million to mount, and highest quality imaginable. Musicians, actors, sets, lights, and maybe not always high quality writers, but that's my.
Yeah, like they would take a movie, let's say like Spider-Man, Jason, and be like, "My name is Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility." Da 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 da. Like a whole, theatrical play, right? About a movie. You know what I mean? Something like that, but
Yeah, exactly.
much better than what I just did.
Well, if you want, I can sing you a few lines to myself.
Yeah, yes, please do. And we have just a few minutes left. Please, please, please do.
Sure. So my depression will sing. Just give up. No one like you. No.
Wait. We finally get the good stuff, and it cuts out again. Why? Today?
Okay. You hear me now?
Try again. Come, please.
I'll do my mania now. So mania says, come see the view you can see from above.
If only we could hear that clearer. I applaud you, though. The audio is not doing you justice, but I can tell that's beautiful. I love in the musicals, though, every time there's a dilemma, there's a song. We have a problem. Let's sing about that problem. There's a dilemma. There's a song coming. It's pretty funny, though. But you're very talented, Zach, and you should. I'm glad that you stopped caring about the label or the stigma, and that the more we come out, I mean, we all have something. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's no shame in seeking help for mental health, and if some people out there think that there's not a problem, that people live within a white picket fence and they have this happy life that they put as a facade on Facebook or Instagram, they're full of crap. And everyone has some sort of mental health. It's like, I mean, there's even adjustment disorder, phase of life problem. I mean, you're going through a divorce. There's stress, anxiety, depression. Everyone has something. And I mean,
absolutely.
Anxiety. I have anxiety. I have ADHD, which is probably like a multitask. Some mental health things are gifts. So I consider mine a gift, to be honest. And there's probably more that I am not diagnosed with. Just, I think we all have some of those too. But to be ashamed of them is what I'm trying to end on this show. Like ending the stigma of mental health. Be proud to address it. We're seeing it on NFL and the Olympics, and celebrities standing out saying, that their mental health was more important to them than someone from the gymnastics, the American Olympic team, stopped her dream to deal with her mental health and abuse, and all that. NFL players have gotten off of the team, when they reach their dream, but the mental health piece is so much more important, and how we take care of that is so much more important. So, Zach, we're going to do part 2 of this, okay? But it's time for us to go. And we'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Thanks for calling in and being a sport. We'll be back tomorrow, 12 to 1, every Thursday, Friday, hopefully with less technical difficulties. But always take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself as well as a stranger. You never know what they're going through. Thank you, Basin. Thank you, Zach. Everyone for listening.
You're welcome.
We'll
Thanks
be,
for having the show, Tiffany.
we'll
And
we'll be in touch. We're gonna do a redo of this too.
good.
Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so alive. Now it clicks. Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so alive. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.